because one of the things that is clearly government at its worst is character law, which is like Superman was invented in like 1935 by Simon & Schuster.
Yeah.
DC Comics, I think, has the copyright. And the copyright was supposed to expire after, what is it, like 75 years after the characters created. And these characters, when these laws were written, you didn't have pop culture. Now you have these huge corporations who have a lot of money invested in Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, so on and so forth, and they lobby Congress, and every year Congress extends this over and over. Mickey Mouse should have been a long time ago a copyright law. And the point, similar to what you were just making, if these characters were in public domain after 75 years or 50 years, you would have 3 Superman movies a year instead of 1.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have had to wait, 40, 50 years for an Atlas Shrugged movie, for example.
Oh,
and
God, I mean, that might have been for the best.
I know, but maybe a good one would have been made.
That's fair, yeah.
I've actually got a bunch of blog posts about various comic book trademark and copyright battles, which are crazy. Like, you probably know some of them, but, Captain Marvel from DC,
right,
who people erroneously call Shazam, right? Because he would say Shazam to invoke his powers. But there was a gap when they didn't renew their trademark.
No, so I'll tell the Captain Marvel story. Yeah. So back in the 40s, they invented Captain Marvel as a competitor to Superman. He's the guy with the red clothes and the lightning bolt, and he's a kid, Billy Batson. And when he says the word Shazam, he gets the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the power of Atlas, the something of Zeus, invulnerability of Achilles, and speed of Mercury. Right? And then there was Mary Marvel, his sister, and then there was this crippled boy, Freddie Freeman. Who, when he's instead of saying Shazam, he would say Captain Marvel. He would turn into Captain Marvel Jr. And what's fascinating is that makes him one of the few characters who can't say his own name, because when he says Shazam, he turns back. When he says Captain Marvel, he turns back to Freddie Freeman. This character at one point was more popular than Superman. And they were being published weekly. His arch enemy is Dr. Sivana, whatever. Mr. Mind, who's this evil worm, might be my favorite comic book supervillain of all time.
Black Adam too, right?
Black Adam, which is from the ancient Egypt times. And the Wizard Shazam, his name was Teth Adam, and there's this very weird panel where the Wizard Shazam goes, "I changed your name to Black Adam, and now I banish you." It's like, I don't think that's how names work. Anyway, and Black Adam's going to be played by, is it The Rock? I think The Rock's going to be playing him in the upcoming Shazam movie. So that was Fawcett Comics, Fawcett.
That's right.
Fawcett went out of business. DC bought the rights to all Fawcett characters. In the interim,
but I believe they went out of business because of a suit, because of a copyrighted trademark suit.
DC was suing them that Shazam, Captain Marvel was a ripoff of Superman, which in a sense it was, but it's not literally the same character. It's inspired by.
But again, ripoff means stealing, but it's not. It's a copy or it's an inspiration.
It's clearly inspired by it. No one would confuse the two. No, there's no confusion. In the interim, Marvel starts publishing a character named Captain Marvel.
Marvel, I think at first, right?
May have been the short.
Or they changed to Marvel later.
And because Marvel had that when the character from Fawcett lapsed, Marvel had the right to call books Captain Marvel. DC could use the character, but they couldn't call the comic book itself Captain Marvel Comics, so they called the comic book Shazam. And now I think they even call the character Shazam to get rid of all these headaches.
There's a movie coming up. I think they're calling it Shazam. They call him Shazam, I believe. But that's just one example. There's other examples.
So it's very Byzantine.
There's another example.
Let me just say one more thing with comics, because I know people are comic fans. As a result of this, DC, especially, and other keep reissuing comic book series from
every 2 years or something.
Every few years, because even these characters no one cares about, they don't want to lose the copyright rights.